Everybody, welcome back to the long awaited how much horsepower can you make for $1,000 on an L28 conclusion part 2 everything video. As you can see, it's done. It's driving. Quick recap, I went on the cheap with basically a GM computer out of a later Vortec 4200. That's the 6-cylinder GM motor from around like '08. I used its coils. I used originally its injectors. I have its throttle body. It's drive by wire, so I have the pedal. I put on a header, which I modified to cross over under the oil pan to have a T304 billet turbo on this side, just a eBay one, but the billet wheel, eBay blow-off valve, eBay intercooler, everything else. And I made 308 horsepower and 358 foot-pounds torque at about 5,000 RPM before I ran out of injectors, which I have since then updated to, you can't see, but they're shorter now. I have spacers. They're flex fuel 50-pound injectors, so now I can go much higher. So that's how much horsepower I made with that. And one thing I noticed though, this is an N42 engine, by the way, 2.8. Like with these engines, I would say if you have one, they can make some decent power, as you can see, for not a lot of money, but the community is kind of hit or miss around them. You see, you either have people that got them and are absolutely clueless about them, just doing dumb things, or you got like the 3 dudes which have been hoarding them and selling parts for them for like 20 years, which will also kind of just tell you whatever you want to hear to buy stuff from them. This is the only cheap thing I've seen, like, setup you can do this. So I would recommend, if you have one of these, you should do it my way with all this Vortex stuff. Drop like a DM or something, a chat message, and I can provide the parts. But definitely worth it if you do it my way. $1,000 you have over 300 wheel horsepower. It's pretty good. And learning things from this. You'll see a lot of people complain about blown up head gaskets. Oh, the stock end can't live that long. Oh, blah blah blah. The turbo, you need the turbo engine and the pistons. Blah blah blah. Brake. All of that is pretty much stemmed from lack of education on these things. The pistons in these guys are big, fat, very heavy, very long skirt, very thick, upper ringland. So, like, basically they're fine for boost, any of them out of the box. They have ample ring gap. You don't have to touch the inside. Being that they're heavy, they won't RPM that well, because all that mass just not gonna get that high. But these camshafts don't really go that high RPM anyway. If you have E85, definitely this is a good engine for E85. What I found is that around 8 psi on N42, nothing changed. You'll start to see knock. I have advanced engine control from the modern stuff, knock sensors, everything, so I actually see this and can confirm 8 psi is the safe limit on 93 for one of these, just all stock. Maybe you can get a camshaft that lowers your dynamic compression. You can get a little bit better, but 8 psi is about all you want to push it with just a normal aftermarket system without knock detection or anything, because that's why you see everybody blowing them up, because they can only handle 8 psi. If you have E85, you don't have to worry about it. You can push it as far as you want to go. I was pushing with the octane booster around 16 psi before I run out of injectors, and that got rid of the knock that I was seeing. Unfortunately, I don't live very close to E85 gas station, so I don't really try to push it as hard on 93, but I feel fine knowing that, the computer detects it. It's not like constant knock. If you look at the graphs, it's like under here, ding, ding, ding. It's all over the place, randomly spaced events, not like constant knock, but just random events all over the place. So it's like a tricky knock to kind of cure or chase down, but definitely this engine is great if you do it on the cheap like me. And if you got E85, definitely want to do that. If you have 93, try to stay around 8 psi. They'll last forever. And that's pretty much what you can do with it. I'll give you a quick startup, show you how everything goes. It's been a little tricky tuning it because the throttle body's so enormous that my transient between, you know, idle and on throttle is a little jerky, but as you see, starts right up. Sounds pretty good. Sound check on it. Give it a rev. Let's see if I get a little cruise in. It does spin the wheels. It's pretty good. Like, personally, for me, it's an acceptable amount of power. I think at 400 I'd be truly happy. Can't really shift well with one hand, so I'm at first for now. But I could be happy with this with the E85. Honestly, I'd like to have the head from a turbo engine so that I could see if that head reduces the knock. Because that would, if I had E85, I wouldn't care. I just run E85. But since I'm like a half hour from the closest station, I want to try to make it better on 93. That was third gear. As you can see, it's got the power. So it's chirping the wheels. It pulls hard, like, especially when it gets into boost. It starts really getting into the boost around, you know, 3,500 RPM. You know, of course, if you're already kind of at speed, that changes. But, you know, from a dig, that's about where it starts spooling. But yeah, I'll leave you at that. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I've seen a lot of people similar to myself start one of these videos and never wrap it up, but there you go. That's about how much power you can expect to make if you do everything right, you know, with actual proper, like, engine management on it, tuned about right. A lot of the gear out there that people are selling is kind of like is pretty crap, like, especially compared to the thing I got on here, the modern computer. It does way more parameters than these kits that people sell, so, and it's cheaper. So I suggest anybody interested, this is the best route. You get good power. And drop a comment if you want to see more, hear more about the parts I used for it. I can hook you up with tunes. I can hook you up with the adapters that I made, everything else. Hope you guys liked it.